For a little experiment. I've seen a few people on Facebook post this about eggs, cooking them in the oven on a baking sheet. I usually go with the traditional pot method. Now the claims here are that I've even seen one claim that it's tastier. I'm finding that really hard to believe, and that they're easier to peel. As far as I know, to make an egg easier to peel, you gotta let it age, for one, because fresh eggs don't peel as easy as older eggs, a couple weeks old or more. And two, you take them from the boiling water, or in this case the hot oven, and plunge them into cold water, and that loosens the shell. Well, we're going to do a side-by-side comparison here. So, I got my 4 eggs. I'm going to take these 2 and mark them. These ones are going in the oven, just so I don't get them mixed up later. So those guys are going in the oven. I got it preheating now, 350. It says 25 to 30 minutes. That's a long time to cook some eggs. Normally you're cooking like 3 or 4 at a time. I could see that being easier if you're going to be cooking like a dozen eggs or more, but how often are you cooking a dozen eggs? And not very often in my case, and I eat a lot of eggs. So this method, I put them on the stove and put the stove on high. As soon as that starts to boil, I time 3 minutes. 3-minute egg will be a perfect soft boiled egg every time, for a large egg anyway. Large or extra large, smaller eggs will be a bit of a shorter time. This one says preheat the oven to 350, shove them in there for 25 to 30 minutes. I'm going to go 25 and assume that's going to get me the soft boiled egg that I want. I don't know, I've never done this before. And then at the end of this, we're going to do a comparison to see how each one of them peels and whether or not one is easier to peel than the other. These are fresh eggs from Costco. Just got them yesterday, so they should be pretty fresh. Alright, that's just coming to a boil now, and you see they went in at the same time. There's 18 minutes left here. Oh, I got a 3-year-old in an uproar back there. Sorry about that. So that's not quite a boil there yet, but it's pretty close. Oh, and I just realized I don't have a timer over on the stove now to time my 3 minutes. But I'll figure something out. That's the least of my problems. I'll just do subtraction. So that's still not quite a good active boil on that one. Very, very close. Alright, I'm calling that a good boil. So 17:17 was the time, which means 14:17 is when I take it out. So when I take it out, what I do is I carefully drain that into the sink, fill it with cold water once, and then drain it again, fill it with cold water again, drain it again, and then we're done. So that's how I cool it down enough to peel them. So these ones are almost done cooking, and there's still 14 minutes over there. Just a comparison of speed. Okay, hello. Alright, so peeling. You got a good shot of that?
Yep.
So I find these are the boiled ones. Oh, I got a 3-year-old in the background who's having a fit. So, alright. And they don't always peel that easy for me, but that's perfectly peeled right there.
Notice how he uses a spoon.
So the trick to a good peel is getting under that skin right off the bat. If you can get right under that skin, you're doing good. Alright. So that's not quite a perfect peel, but it's pretty darn close. So those ones are cooked and peeled, and there's 10 minutes left on the, zoom up there, look, up there. And there's 10 minutes left, 11 minutes left on the oven eggs, and these ones are ready to eat already. So let's see what the oven ones do when they're ready. Oh yeah, so I should show you that these are soft boiled. Perfect soft boiled eggs. That's the 2 boiled ones. So, absolutely perfect. Okay, so they're out of the oven. In hindsight, I didn't actually need to mark the eggs because the other ones are long gone. I'm going to transfer them into the pot to cool them the same way I do the other ones, just so that it's fair comparison, and they're both getting the same treatment otherwise. So here we go. Alright, so they got, I filled it twice with cold water. Let's see how these guys peel. The other guys, as you recall, were pretty easy to peel. This one looks pretty much no difference to me. Although that's looking like it's hard boiled, which is unfortunate. I went 25 minutes. Actually, I find this is a little bit harder to peel. Having the water, this is all dried out underneath the skin actually. From the other one gets boiled in water and it kind of lubricates underneath the skin. This is dried out and I'm finding that harder to peel. Huh, look, I've got, and it's burnt. There's a burnt spot from where it was touching the pan.
Don't think anybody would want to eat that egg.
Now, this is definitely harder to peel. And I guess if you put a little bit of water in the pan, you won't get the burnt spot. Maybe not, I don't know. So, let's see how the second one goes.
Let's hope there's no burnt spot.
Oh, there will be a burnt spot, I think.
If we're lucky,
now, this is absolutely more difficult to peel because it's dried out under there. It's a very different feeling on here. Look at me peeling, please. You need to go here, not there. This is definitely, the ones coming out of the water are lubricated under the shell, but these are all dried out. You can feel it. I don't know if you can see a different sheen to it or not, but it's got a very different feeling when I'm peeling it.
It looks wet.
And for those of you who don't know what lubricating means,
oh, Isaac, for goodness sake! Oh, and
burnt
this one's
spot.
got
that's a big one.
Oh, and there's the air bubble spot.
So let's see if they're soft boiled or not. You focus in there. That's pretty hard boiled, and that was 25 minutes. So I don't like hard boiled eggs so much. That's really hard boiled. I'm calling this a big fail. This doesn't work. Yeah. Oh man, and eating them, they're really dried out eating them. This is not at all enjoyable. Now, since that was hard boiled, I suppose you could try 20 minutes and see what you get, and maybe they won't be as dried out, but the one I saw said 25 to 30 minutes, so I went on the low end, and I'm telling you, that's a really dried out egg. I've never had an egg that dried out, and it's just terrible. I'll eat it so it doesn't go to waste, but it is just not at all enjoyable. Even hard-boiled eggs, which I normally don't like, are not all dried out like this. This is just terrible.